Is your side hustle another job in disguise? Here's how to tell and how to build a real business online instead. Within the context of this video, what is a side hustle? Time for money activities, low leverage work like freelancing, like micro tasks on various sites where you practically trade your time for money, basically. That's what, in this context, we call a side hustle. And what is a real business in the context of this video? It is asset driven, system based, something that grows and can scale without your constant input. You don't trade time for money every time. Once you have set it up, it can develop a life of its own. It can even operate completely at a point without your inputs at all for weeks and months. There are key areas where a side hustle is different from a real business. One is time leverage. A business scales with systems and teams. A side hustle depends on you and your time. Another key difference is skill requirements. A side hustle usually requires one skill at a time, but a real business requires more than one skill. It requires a skill set. For example, to build out a functioning website, you need to have a number of skills. You need to have ability to write good copy. You need to understand SEO. You need to know how to build out a website. You need to know how to build links. You need to know how to do good keyword research and things like that. These are skills on their own. Another thing is income ceiling. A side hustle, the income ceiling caps out at the available time you have. No matter the opportunities available to you in a side hustle, once you have hit your 24 hours, if you can work for 24 hours, there's nothing beyond that. A business does not operate like that. A business has nothing to do with what time you have available if you have built it correctly. The last difference I will talk about in this video is the exit potential. You can't sell a side hustle. It's something you do for yourself. It's something you do by yourself. But you can sell a business because it is an asset that has a life of its own. So you can decouple it from yourself and sell it to someone else who will take it to the next level. Obviously, you can see that I am pushing you towards moving away from hustling to building a real business. But the truth of it is that there are still times in a person's life when a side hustle makes a lot of sense. So if you are in that situation, I will encourage you to go through that phase and do it well. So what are the cases and situations where a side hustle makes sense? Number one, you need quick cash and you are not in a position maybe to get someone to give you a loan or whatever. You need quick cash and you have a skill that you know you can monetize on a place like Upwork or in the micro task sites. Go ahead, do it. Get the quick money you need, solve the problem you need to solve, and move on. Another case would be you want quick market validation. You want to quickly determine if this idea will work in the marketplace. Of course, if you want to test whether an idea will work, you cannot go all in like you do when you are building a business. So you might just want to do it as a side hustle and quickly test it. Maybe run a few ads or do a few things to see, will people even like this? Will it work? If I want to scale and build a business around this set of things, will it work? So you maybe test it with one or two products to see what the market's response would be. At such a point in your life, you need to do it as a side hustle, not as a full-scale business. Another point, it makes sense to do a side hustle is when you are testing your skills. For example, I've worked many years for other companies. I've done copy for them. I've written articles. I've done SEO for people. I've done a lot of things for other people for which they paid me. And within those periods, some of the clients you work with, they will give you SOPs, they will give you rules. Do this like this, do it like this, do it like this. Within that period you're working for them, though they are paying you, the biggest benefit you are getting is not even the pay, it's the exposure and experience you gather. For example, I've worked with companies that are building, a company that was building a multi-million dollar website. As a website, from everything you know they're doing, they are expecting to be making millions of dollars per month. So the invaluable lesson you learn, that was one of the places I learned to build a solid team because I saw how the people above me were working things. So that is another good reason why you might want to do a side hustle at a point in your life, because you need to understand how you need to hone your skills, for example, and then you need to understand the inner workings of things in a particular industry. You may also want to test a niche before you go all in. It will make sense to do it as a side hustle and not a full-blown business. So these are valid situations and cases where it makes sense for you not to do a business, but to do a side hustle. So how do you shift from having a side hustle, or how do you shift your side hustle into a real business? Because this is actually the main point that I want to drive at in this video. I want to get you to this point where you build an asset that really works for you, that you are not going to be trading time for money. So how do you make that transition from side hustle to real business? If you have not started already, pick a model that lends itself to compounding revenue and residual income. Pick a model that allows you to build something once, create a system around it, and then it can work on its own without your input and makes you money on the past work you have done, while allowing you to lay structures that compound your growth over time. Let me give you examples of such models. Examples of such models will be YouTube affiliate marketing, YouTube setup for affiliate marketing. It could be a website. Why did I use these two examples? On YouTube, if you build correctly, every video you publish adds to your value. That is, compounds the value of that digital asset. That's one. Number two, if you do your videos right, one video, the video you publish today, can be getting you traffic. By this time, in 3 years' time, still giving you traffic every month. I have videos that are sending me thousands of visitors every month and have done so for some years now. So that's why if you shift to such a model, you set things up once and keep adding to them. But as you are adding to them, the ones you did before are not going away. So they compound your results. And because each of them is bringing you residual income, as you add them, it's like you are increasing your overall output. So you need to pick such models. A website also does that. As you add more keyword optimized pages that serve your audience, the traffic your website can pull in begins to increase if you do everything correctly. This also applies to a list. If you have an email list, which you should have if you want to leave side hustles or hustling to building a business, you need to have a list. So you build a list. If you build a list, the emails you send or the emails you have pre-written, if you send it to 300 people, you will get a certain result. But by the time your list grows to, let's say, 30,000 people, if you come back after 2 years and send that same email message, if it's still relevant, it will earn you results that could be 100 times what you got before. And you've actually not done much other than just copying the email you wrote before and loading it in the email sender and having it go out. I have email messages that I wrote as far back as 2018 that are serving me today. This is 2025. That's 7 years ago. So if you're just starting, pick a model that compounds your effort and gives you residual income. But if you're already hustling online, shift to those models. The next thing you need to do is to delegate execution. Let me use an example. There was a time in my life I was a freelancer, but I was able to grow my freelancing business to a point where it made me 20 million naira per year. But you see, at that point in time, I wasn't doing all the writing. I had created a team and I created hierarchies within the team. So I had writers, I had staff writers, I had editors. So in fact, there were layers, so I didn't have to do much. But then you can take it to even a much higher level because we got to a point and I had a managing editor. So you can actually step away from things and have your managing editor do the bulk of the work. Of course, it will cost you more. But if you do this correctly, I'm just using this as an example. If you do it correctly, you delegate execution. So everything that has to do with the execution of the processes that drive your business won't be up to you. You have created a system and put people as strategic points to man the system. So what would you be doing? You will focus on strategy. You will keep thinking and developing and improving your strategy and your system. That's what you focus on. But then your business can actually still grow to a point where you can now employ people who are even better in the strategy or systemization of your process to come on board, and you take a back seat so that they take your business to the next level. So that's how you go from side hustle to building a real online business that gives you the freedom you want but earns you the money you need. This is an overview, of course. Like they say, the devil is in the details. It's the fine print, it's the little steps that will make you succeed or fail. And there are a lot of little steps in this matter. If you would like somebody to guide you through the little steps, take you from zero or wherever you are today to a point where you make $10,000 per month, then I welcome you to join our mentorship program. Because in our mentorship program, we will take you by the hand, we will guide you, we will show you what you need to do per time, show you what you need to avoid until you get to $10,000 per month. That's 16 million naira per month in current exchange rate in Nigeria. Can you imagine what that would do in your life? If you are interested in joining our mentorship program, click the link in the pinned comment and description below. It is titled 10K dollars in 24 mentorship program. Just click that link. But what if you don't have the time or the inclination to go through a 24-month mentorship program? Well, we also have something for you. We call it our Done For You package, where we can build these passive income digital assets that will earn you high ticket commissions, big commissions. You can be making $10,000 per month. You can be making $20,000 per month. It depends on the package you choose. You can even choose to just make $1,000 per month. If you are interested in that, click the second link in the pinned comment and description. It is titled DFY-Passive Income Digital Assets, PIDA. Whether you want to be part of our mentorship or our Done For You program, just click the link and it will take you to a page where you provide your phone number, your email address, and your name. Once you do that, click submit, and then You will get an email within 5 minutes of clicking the submit button that will ask you to confirm the email address you provided. Please open that email and confirm. If you don't get that email within 5 minutes, check your spam folder, your promotions folder, your social folder if you are using Gmail. Gmail has various tabs. Now, when you confirm, you get another email. You get a total of about about 3 emails in succession telling you things you need to do. Please read those emails and do them. You get those emails within 5 to 10 minutes of you taking the action within the email. Keep doing that until you get the final email where you will get my phone number. When you get my phone number, you know you have completed that process. Within this process, you would have filled out an application form and you would have booked a call. And when you have done all those, you will get my phone number. If you do that, then I will call you at the time you booked and we will talk. The reason why I will give you my phone number is so that you will save it. So that when it's time, that time you booked, I will call you and you will know it's not a random stranger, but a call you requested. The ball is now squarely in your court. You can change your life. Thanks for watching this video. God bless you and have a great life.